Good morning, students. We are going to start today's lesson, which is 13.1, Understanding Perimeter. So we're starting a whole new topic in math, and it's about perimeter. So let's take some notes. All right, you can pause this video as you need. I'm going to switch back and forth sometimes from regular notebook paper to graph paper as needed. So if you have your graph paper, you're going to need that nearby. The first thing you need to know is what perimeter is. Perimeter is the distance around a figure. And one thing that helps us remember perimeter is the word rim inside the word. The rim is the edges around our shape. So if you guys remember when we were in the classroom, we would come and sit at the perimeter of the carpet. We would sit on the edges of the carpet. And so that's what the perimeter is. It's the distance around a figure. All right, so there's a couple of different things different ways you're going to have to find perimeter. The first way is to add up all of your sides. So if we have, this is number 1, to find the perimeter of a shape, add up each side. So if it has 4 sides, you would add side A plus side B plus side C plus side D, and that's going to equal your perimeter. And we'll do some like that. But we're going to go ahead and finish our notes, and then we'll do some of each. Number 2 is if the shape is on grid paper, make it fuzzy is what I call it, and I'll show you what that means. Make it fuzzy to figure out the perimeter. That's the second way, if it happens to be on grid paper. Now, sometimes they're going to ask you to make a shape that has a certain perimeter. And so that's where this third way comes into play. To make a figure with a certain perimeter, on grid paper, you have to, number 1, so this is you making a shape. They say make a shape with 20 as your perimeter, 20 centimeters as your perimeter. You're on centimeter grid paper, so you're going to have to know how to draw that. What I want you to do when we're doing that, and I'll put it in this video in a minute, count by twos. As you draw a straight line. The second thing you need to remember is don't count all the way to the given perimeter without turning. So for example, if using the 20 centimeter example, you don't want to count all the way to 20 without turning your shape and closing it up. And we'll talk about that as we go. All right, so starting with the first one, to find the perimeter of a shape, you simply add up each side. So looking at your book, number 2 in the book is here. We have 7 feet, 9 feet, 8 feet, 8 feet, and 16 feet. So in order to find the perimeter of the shape, we have all of the sides. They haven't given us any unknowns. And so we'll just take these numbers and add them up. So let's do that together. This is, again, 13, 1, and we do skip around. So we have 7 feet plus 9 feet plus 8 feet plus 8 feet plus 16 feet. And to find the perimeter, remember, you're always adding. So we have 16 here. 8 plus 8 is 16. 9 plus 7 is 16. So we add 6 plus 6 is 12, plus 6 more is 18. 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 is 48 feet is our perimeter for number 2. All right, so to practice that again, on number 6 in your book, we have this rhombus or parallelogram, and not a rhombus because these sides are 14 and these sides are 11. Remember, a rhombus has all sides the same length. So we have a parallelogram here. We want to add 14 plus 11 plus 14 plus 11. So number 6, 14, 14. Remember, we're doing centimeters, so you have to put your measurement out there to the side. We're adding them up. 14 plus 14 is 28. 11 plus 11 is 22. 8 plus 2 is 10. And 2 plus 2 is 4. Plus 1 more is 5. 50 centimeters for number 6. Okay, so those are pretty easy if you have your measurements out there for you. I talked about making a shape fuzzy. So if you look at number 1 in your book, it says find the perimeter, and they've told us that each square is worth 1 inch. And so in order to do this, because I don't want to write in the book, I'm going to draw it on my grid paper. So you can draw it with me. If you have grid paper, this was number 1. And it goes down, and then it goes in, and then they go down 2 squares, then they go over 3 squares, and it is symmetrical. So we come back up 2, over 1, up 1, and close up your top. Okay, and so this is where we make it fuzzy. We count. And what I like to do is start on one section and go all the way around. So I like to start usually around the top, and we count as we make little marks. And so your shape's gonna end up looking like it has little hairs growing out of it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So our perimeter equals 16, and our units were inches. And so it looks like it's fuzzy. One thing I see a lot of times is students will come around and they'll miss this section here, or they'll miss this section here. Every one of these has to have a little line. You have to count each one. So let's do another one of these. Number 4 in your book comes down 2, go in 3, come down 1, go over 3, go up 3, and close in your shape. All right, and this is feet. Feet is our units. So we're going to make this one fuzzy. So we just go all the way around, and you can watch me do it and then pause the video and then you can do yours. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So our perimeter is 18 feet. All right. So that's how we make it fuzzy. The third way, or your third thing in your notes here, was to make a figure with a certain perimeter. And you're going to have to do this quite a bit. So we count by 2s as we draw a straight line, and we don't count all the way to the given perimeter without turning. So I'll show you what that means now. So number 8 in your book, they tell you, whoa, sorry about that, whoops. Number 8 in your book tells you to draw a figure with the given perimeter using grid paper. And so they want us to start with something that has 14 units. All right, so we're doing, our perimeter has to equal 14. In order to do this, we're counting by 2s. So we're gonna start by going down 2, and I count by 2s, 4, 6, 8. It really doesn't matter what number you stop at. I'm gonna stop at 8 because I have to go all the way to 14, but I have to close in my shape. So that's what it means, don't go all the way to 14 without turning. So now I'm going to turn at 8, 10, and I'm going to keep counting, 12, 14, and now I'm just going to close the shape. Now I have 1, 2, 3, 4. It is a 4 by 1, 2, 3. So if I were to add up all of my sides, I could go around and make it fuzzy if I want, or I could know that it is a rectangle. And so my opposite sides are the same length. So 4 plus 4 plus 3 plus 3 equals 8 plus 6, which is 14 units. And we'll put U for unit.